flour getting ready to go away. Darren's requested some chocolate brownies, and so I'm going to make some brownies for him. Got everything organised and the oven's on in my bowl. I've got soft raisin flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, bit of salt, then some strong coffee, sugar. The usual recipe that I use usually has twice this amount of sugar, but we just find it too sweet. Walnuts all smashed up, vanilla extract, dark chocolate chips, or if you haven't got chocolate chips, just a bar of dark chocolate, either melted or all chopped up, bit of melted plant-based margarine, because we don't do much. And this is in place of an egg, so it's ground up flax seeds soaked in water, and then you just combine it all together. So
okay,
everything's just going to go in. If you haven't got any margarine, or if you like butter, you can use that, or vegetable oil, just as easy.
Well, this is a plant-based version of...
Yeah, and this is a plant-based version, because
as you were saying, we don't do
dairy very well
in
our family.
Yeah. I mean, you could use you can use any. Oh, well, I don't know what are we making? What are the alternatives? Well, the egg is the alternative because we're using the flax egg instead.
Yeah, we're not too bad with egg. It's mainly milk and stuff that most of us can't tolerate. So
yeah. So which is that? The vanilla.
Vanilla extract. And then sometimes I find it comes out really dry, so I just add a little bit of almond milk or water, just till you get like a thick dropping consistency. And it can change with the different types of flour that you use, or even on a different day. If it's less humid or more humid, then that seems to me have a difference as well. And with most things I do, it's just by eye, I'm afraid, so just a good dollop.
So you got your lined tray ready?
Yep, just in a dish.
Lined dish.
You do have to get it in the oven quite quickly, because it's all, this kind of baking's all about the chemical reaction that you get. And that was just the last few little bits of walnuts that weren't worth saving. So they're just going on the top. And that's 180 on my oven. And then I'll just watch it until it's ready. Done. Oh, that looks really good. Just a little bit soft, and it's not springing back, so we'll give it another 2 minutes. Okay, this should be ready. Yeah, that's better. Just springing back. can smell the chocolate. Delish.
But then as soon as London goes into it,
So we're just on the M25 now, about half an hour away from the Channel Tunnel.
M20.
Oh, we're on the M20. On the M20, yes. About half an hour away from the Channel Tunnel, that's right, yeah. And Elaine's just making us some lovely falafel wraps.
Yep.
Yeah.
chili
Look
jam.
really tasty indeed. So we're
Chili
ready
jam.
for that. Our Channel Tunnel's due about 20 past 4, so we've got a couple of hours until then. So yeah, so we're just going to have a bite to eat and then get ourselves back off again. I was going to show you what Elaine's made. Falafel wraps with chili jam and
Guacamole.
guacamole. Look lovely. Oh, lovely, look at that.
That's not one slice.
Oh.
Yes guys, the first bright sunny day in weeks and we leave the country.
Good morning everyone. So I've just woken up. We've woken up a little bit late this morning. In French time, we're in France now. So in French time it's 9:30 that we've got out of bed, which is quite late for us. We did travel till quite late last night. We couldn't find an air that was empty. They all seemed to be either not really suitable or they were full of lorries everywhere. So we found this quite reasonably quiet one quite late on last night, probably about 10:30. So we thought we'd stay here, but it's obviously the drive yesterday, quite a long drive. Yesterday I think we drove for 15 hours, something like that. So the long drive definitely took it out of us. So we had we at least had a good sleep last night. So we didn't have any tea last night either. So Elaine's just making us a breakfast, which I didn't know what that was, but it basically means like a cooked breakfast. So Elaine's just doing that now, and I've just spotted little Max looking out the door at me, seeing what I'm doing. What are you doing, Maxie? He's just looking like a good lad, isn't he? So, are you making us a breakfast?
Breakfast, yes.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to
Beans
this.
on toast with mushrooms.
that sounds lovely. That sounds perfect actually.
Seems we didn't have any tea yesterday.
Yeah, didn't get any tea. But so yeah, looking forward to my breakfast. Should we get the kettle on as well for a cup of tea? All sorted.
Such a professional here.
Professional, brilliant. Cool. So that's it. So here we are then. Go back to me. Little Max as well. What's he doing? Think he can smell the mushrooms. So here we are then, on our first day in France. So what we'll do is we'll have our breakfast and we'll get off moving again and catch up with you in a little while. Catch up with you shortly. So, I was just thinking what the plans for the day was.
Driving. Bit of driving.
Bit of driving today.
Cup of tea. Bit more driving. Cup of tea. Bit more driving.
Slice of cake.
If we get enough driving done.
Okay. So the things that were falling out the tree, it turns out, were chestnuts. And they're just fallen down on the ground. Oh, there's another one just fallen. Just here. Oh, they're falling all around me actually. So the thing is to find out whether they're edible chestnuts or not. Here's another one. Quite spiky to get into, but there you go. Oh, there's a good one. Wow, look at that. So, hopefully, these are... Ow! So here we are, just stopped off at another air in France. We're about 12 hours by the sat-nav, about 12 hours from our destination in Portugal. So we're staying at another air. It's the air... Oh, I couldn't pronounce that, to be honest with you. I'll leave that to the French people to pronounce. But yeah, so just stopped off now. Elaine's going to do the... Elaine's going to cook our lunch. And I'm just out walking with Max for a few minutes, and it's quite a pleasant air. I'll show you some bits. So yeah, as I said earlier, so we've just stopped off at a different, at our next air in France. A nice pleasant little space. It's got, just going to say, you can hear some birds chattering in the background there. Just while Elaine's making the lunch in the van. Just thought I'd pop out and sit on this little park bench here, which is really nice. Really pleasant little place. We're not too far away from the main road. You can see the main road and you can hear the main road, but that is the case with all of these airs. They're just literally on the side of the main toll roads. Nevertheless, still quite a pleasant little place. Just wanted to point out as well, whilst I remember, when we were picking the chestnuts on our last air stop, we did also take a leaf from the tree just to be sure that we are picking edible foods. We can then double check that leaf, which I'll show you, with leaves on the internet, just to check that we're not going to poison ourselves with poisonous chestnuts, although we are sure that they are edible chestnuts. So just thought I'd point that out. So so we'll catch up with you in a little bit. We're going to have our lunch now and then catch up with you in a few minutes. So it's our first day back in Portugal, and the weather's slightly different to what we're used to. So we're just going to now get off to get some water, fill up our water containers, and then just see what the day brings, which is probably just going to be a quiet day. Do you reckon?
Definitely. Just not travelling.
Not travelling, yeah. Okay. So we've just been to collect some water from the fountain. We'll show you how we do that a little bit later, but at the moment it's pouring with rain, so we didn't really want to film it in the rain. But we'll show you a little bit later on how we collect the water. The rain's eased off a little bit at the moment, so that's a little bit more pleasant. Elaine's just moving the water from our van across into the back of the other van. So what we're going to do now that we've got some water, is we're going to have a cup of tea and get ourselves a little bit organised for the day, dry off a little bit. So we'll catch you in a bit. So it's quite late in the evening now, and we've had a pretty chilled day. Watched a few YouTube videos.
Did a bit of reading.
And so we're going to call it a day for this video now, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. Thanks very much for watching.
If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe.
Nice one.
Good night.
Thanks very much. Bye bye.